A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, it is a period of not caring what period you're in, because it's more important that you be having fun watching Heath Ledger be Heath Ledger in an 80s sports movie that's also a medieval romance. If you ever wanted your local Ren Fair LARPing session to be a movie, you are absolutely in luck, because we've got tournaments, ladies' fairs, someone getting put in the stocks, and Geoffrey Chaucer, all for your viewing pleasure. A Knight's Tale is rated PG-13 for mild depictions of sex, violence, profanity that includes the word fong, and usage of drugs and alcohol, and potentially frightening scenes. Please proceed according to your needs and comfort level. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views expressed therein are solely those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of their employers. Hello there, and welcome back to 6 Degrees of Star Wars, the podcast where we explore all the ways George Lucas's flagship franchise surrounds us, binds us, and penetrates us in the landscape of cinema. I'm your host, Sam Marchioni. Joining me today, one of my partners, B.
Hello.
Mikey Fadum.
Hello!
And Emil Lewis.
Yes, and I too have waited my whole life for Sir Rector to shite himself to death.
Oh, it's a good day. It's a silly day. We are here to talk about A Knight's Tale.
Greetings, I am IER60, Star Wars Rectal Connections. Point of intersection found. This is a degree 3. Alan Tudyk voiced K2SO in Rogue One, Lego Star Wars All-Stars, Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy, and Andor. Additional source material found. This is a retelling of The Knight's Tale from Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. For additional degrees and uncredited amendments, check out 6degreesofstarwars.tumblr.com/sibling-blogs.
Let it be remembered, everything is Star Wars, always and forever. You cannot
Always,
escape Star
always.
Wars.
God, yes. I'm watching a handful of shows with one of my roommates, and I'm pretty sure Alan Tudyk is in all of them.
I mean, I
That
watched,
sounds
4
right.
seasons of Resident Aliens recently, so...
I haven't even seen Resident Alien yet, and
it's
he's everywhere.
very good.
That's what I hear. One of my coworkers has told me that it is an extremely me show, which, coming from her, I'm assuming is a compliment. This is my boss who said this.
Excellent. However, last time I was on the show, we spoke about tangents for like an hour and a half before Sam dragged us into talking about the movie we were supposed to. So I think I should shut up now and move on with the podcast.
Yeah. A Knight's Tale, it's, to look at the description on Wikipedia, a 2001 American medieval action comedy film written, co-produced, and directed by Brian Helgeland, and it stars the one, the only, the late great Heath Ledger as our titular knight, who is actually a peasant named William Thatcher, and, this is historical, but it's not, because Paul Bettany is playing Geoffrey Chaucer, and also Edward the Black Prince shows up, and there are mentions of the Battle of Poitiers, and the dramaturg in me malfunctioned a little bit because I was going through, okay, so the fact that Edward the Black Prince is here means that this takes place sometime between 1330 and 1376. Geoffrey Chaucer was born in 1343, lived to 1400. That could narrow it down to about the 1360s, early 1370s. But then we mentioned the Battle of Poitiers, which suggests that this is 1356. But also there actually was a Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein who lived from 1200 to 1275, and Lady Jocelyn is running around with the most 90s fucking hair I've ever seen. So
And it's
I give up. I die. I have expired.
Listen. This movie takes place in 1982. It is an 80s sports movie that happens to be dressed for a Ren Fair, and that is what makes it glorious.
Yeah, so
pretty much.
Yeah, so I come from a historian background, actually. So my whole thing is that I can be a stickler about historical inaccuracy, but only if I feel like that brings down the rest of the work. And in this case, this is a historically inspired movie. It is not.
Yeah.
intended to be historically accurate. See, when I first saw this movie as a teenager, I thought it was terrible because my overly literal ass did not get the joke. And moreover, did not get that the movie was in on the joke.
Yes.
Then I watched it like a second or third time, and I was like, and it was one of the only DVDs we had at the summer camp that I used to work at. So we watched this movie quite a bit. When it clicked to me that like, oh, no, you're right. This is an '80s teen sports boys movie.
Yep.
And it's an excellent example of the genre.
Absolutely. I mean, what I love about the movie is rather than like trying to hide the anachronism that they're explicitly going for, they start singing "We Will Rock You" 30 seconds into the movie. They're just like, no, you're either on board for this or you're not.
Yeah, and I just can't get over how teen sports boys being gender neutral. I just really love how the word sounds. A teen sports boys movie, but for medieval jousting, got past the studio executives at literally any point in the history of cinema, and God bless them for doing that.
What I want to know is how did what is happening between Watt and Chaucer get past the studios?
My real question.
There is no heterosexual explanation for that.
No.
Oh, hell no.
There is actually, though, at one point in the movie, example of Alan Tudyk being the greatest actor of all time, because he had to pretend that he didn't enjoy kissing Heath Ledger, and everyone would enjoy kissing Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that's actually one thing that I think kind of got to me when I was watching the movie this last time. I rewatched it. I rewatched it pretty recently, but then I watched it again yesterday just so it would be fresh in my brain. Is that I think it's such a huge tragedy. Like that his premature death, and that has led to his performance as the Joker overshadowing his entire career.
Yeah,
because he was a genuinely charming leading man.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
In the first, I mean, we're talking about the first 10 minutes of the movie still. That bit where I can't remember exactly what the line leading up to it is, but Watt asks him something about, what are you going to do if we get caught? And Heath Ledger just smiles at the camera, and it's just like, okay. I'm going to go lay down for a while and think about things.
Heartthrob shit.
Yeah, just.
I've still never seen The Dark Knight, so I don't even have the frame of reference of Heath Ledger's Joker outside of, the memes and whatnot. To me, Heath Ledger is eternally Patrick Verona.
Yes. Because 10 Things I Hate About You is a great goddamn movie.
Yes, it is.
It is.
One thing I think of this as, medieval sports boys movie is I'm mad that no one has pointed to this movie as a means to fund and produce a spiritual successor to this film, just set in the Hippodrome in Byzantium, which is hysterically funny as a concept for me, just because that was a great time. I'm going to try to keep this brief, but the Hippodrome was so funny because the sports teams there were also the mafia. And
you're talking like the Nika riots, right?
Yeah, and they were also the mafia, and they were also political parties.
Amazing.
So, yeah, if the New England Patriots burned your house down because you voted for the wrong person, that is exactly what would happen, what this was like.
How far are
I
we
cannot
away
confirm
from...
whether or not Boston has ever had that actually happen.
Almost certainly.
It feels like we're not that far from that in reality anyway, but...
Go Pets!
The other,
I think what happened was, Emil, you said Byzantium, and B immediately started thinking about the Sun Eater.
Yeah, just a little bit.
The other thing I was going to say, speaking of Heath Ledger being a heartthrob, we always talk quite rightly about how everyone's bisexual awakening was the 1999 cinematic masterpiece, The Mummy, starring Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. But how did this movie not enter that conversation either? Everyone in this movie is gorgeous. They found the prettiest people on the entire planet for every role.
It really is.
Seriously, like
Kate and Christiana are my life.
Oh yeah.
Here's my take. So, I have gained a reputation amongst our little podcast fam of being the one who will get pissy about specifically historical costuming. And I want to make it clear, I do have a level of leniency that I give to historical costuming, which I base on 4 categories. 1, do I like the movie that the costume is in service of? 2,
Always a good first step.
Mm-hmm.
is it clear to me that the costumer still had a general idea of the period that they are working in? Do they know the rules so that they can effectively break them? 3, is the aesthetic cohesive? Do I understand, like, how this logics? And is it still pretty to look at? And I think that's where this movie kind of fell a little bit short, because there are some very, let's say, memorable looks in this movie. However, it does also feel like a harbinger of everything in fantasy must be brown and schlubby and covered in dirt and not pretty, and I hate that.
I mean, that's not really from this movie. That's just a direct through line from Renaissance era depictions of the Middle Ages. The Dung Ages is an old cliche.
Yeah.
Right, but like I think that the 2000s were a point of turning for it, essentially. Like, some point after, specifically after Marie Antoinette happened in 2006, we started trending way, way more towards dark, heavy fabrics and much less color, and it all looked like a fucking bummer. And now I look at the costuming for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey and something inside me dies.
I'm just amazed at how many people seem to think that Nolan's Odyssey is supposed to be a historically accurate depiction of Bronze Age warfare, when I'm like, no, if that were the case, it would not be the Odyssey.
We do not have time to talk about the Odyssey.
But everyone should play Hades 2, which is the most historically accurate game about the Greek gods.
Oh, it absolutely is. I love Hades 2. I will say, I think this movie has a pretty reasonable approach to that whole kind of dung ages, as I think TV Tropes calls it, aesthetic, in that most media, including media that's trying to be historically accurate, fails to understand that medieval Europe was both way filthier and way cleaner than it will ever be depicted in Hollywood. So I feel like this movie feels, I think compared to a lot of the other movies that have come before or since, feels a little bit more balanced to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
it's a bit prettier, a bit grungier, but not too egregiously so in either direction.
I think they use the grunge to show off the pretty. There's a bit where Jocelyn says something about, stained glass windows being a splash of color in a world of gray or something like that, which my historian brain twitched at a little bit, because I think medieval English churches were actually like painted up and not the gray we associate with them now. But it's kind of an artistic thing for the movie. It's all of the main characters, especially William and Jocelyn, are kind of these splashes of very modern color in a otherwise very gray and grungy world.
Okay, but why didn't their greens match? If you were going to have them both wearing green at that one party where they're dancing to David Bowie, couldn't they at least be in the same shade of green?
Sam, because it looks cool, Sam. Because it looks good.
The only direction that Jocelyn had was green trimmed in a kind of pale green, and
with wooden toggles.
Yes, I wrote that line down because I knew someone was going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a lot of greens in the world. If they match, that would be weird.
No, but it would be I'm sorry. William and Jocelyn did something where it, like, immediately locked into the part of me that loves Anakin and Padme so much. Like, he looked directly at her and said, "Perhaps angels have no names, only beautiful faces." And I'm like, Anakin Skywalker, I fucking see you.
And it works when Heath Ledger says it, because he's not a 12-year-old boy. Or 8-year-old boy or whatever.
But the actual best pickup line in this movie is, "You remind me of the Bible." Fucking get it.
Oh my God, if I could ask God for one thing, it would be to extend this day so I could live in your beauty. I mean, he says it wrong because he brings up her beauty and she hates that. And that's a good character moment, but also what a good freaking line.
It's so...
And if I only could make a deal with God.
I
feel like that was a dialogue option in Crusader Kings at one point.
It must have been. Straight up teared up watching that bit. I was like, I don't know, it was just something about like the togetherness and friendship and the beautiful language, and yeah,
it's all really beautiful. And then part of my brain kind of broke out of it. I'm like, wait a second, Kate was married to a man?
Yeah. love Kate.
Well,
Absolutely
well,
love
well.
Kate.
We
Kate's
just
so
know
good.
she said her husband. We didn't know what gender her husband was.
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm now thinking about medieval transbian armorers to help the thirsty sword lesbians.
Oh my god, there is a friend of mine who is I don't know if this is a thing he's ever going to publish or not, so I'm going to be vague, but he is actually translating a medieval poem about an explicitly trans knight who is repeatedly referred to with both masculine and feminine terms throughout. Like, this was an actual poem from, like, I think like the 14 or 1300s.
That is
What?
excellent.
But I
And
thought
also-
nobody trans their gender before the 70s.
I know. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Did you mean to do that translating pun? Because it was incredible.
It was not intended, but I'm sticking by it till I die.
You should. You should stick by that
Yes.
to the day you die.
Stick to that, please.
It's a fun, it's just a fun kind of comedy of errors kind of
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
You know, so someone wants things, someone lies like a dog to get it, but in a fun, good, wholesome way.
And it didn't have a liar revealed third act breakup. Oh my
Nope.
god. Sweet baby Jesus, thank you.
She's like, "Oh, you're a peasant. Cool. We're still gonna bone."
Yeah, we are already halfway to boning. I have made my bone decision.
Yep.
The bone will occur now.
Now, admittedly, the central plot of this movie doesn't actually make a lot of sense, since squires were young nobles, and it was basically an entry-level job for young knights. So the idea of a peasant squire actually kind of doesn't really exist in this period. But also, many knights definitely did have peasant assistants. So like the idea of the kind of that assistant and the squire kind of got conflated via pop culture.
Yeah.
So technically that doesn't really make sense. But also this movie doesn't work without it. So it's fine. And also the conceit of the peasant squire is load bearing to the TV series Gallivant, which is
Yes.
Ugh.
mandatory.
Well, no, I think
Yes.
actually Sid's family did seem to be some kind of landed nobility. They had a castle.
Okay, but Jackass in a Can is all about peasants who
Okay,
hate
yeah,
being
true.
squires.
True.
And yes, I've been
Uh,
singing that song to myself all day.
I think this movie is sort of in the same historical framework of The Greatest Showman, in that it's not a historical movie in any way, shape, or form. It's a fantasy movie, and it has its own rules that it follows. And
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I may, and so one of those things is peasants were squires. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that checks out. Also, I love that the dance. I don't know if we're going through this movie in chronological order or not. or
Absolutely
just-
not.
Okay, cool.
We have about as much respect for time and chronology as this movie does.
Excellent. Good. Because I just want to say,
Fantastic.
the dance scene, the ball scene in this movie is, it's basically what if the Ozdust scene from Wicked, but for
Totally.
straight people.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that was my first thought watching that scene too. Was just
like,
like, oh, this is I guess this movie walked so Wicked could run, or vice versa. I don't really know which came first. I think this came first.
this movie did this scene straight so that Wicked could do it better, but gay.
Yes, exactly.
I thought we'd established that this movie does everything bisexually.
Every movie does
Pretty
everything
much, yeah.
bisexually if you bisexual hard enough.
That scene is specifically straight.
Yeah.
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 I mean, there's some arguments to be made that Roland and Watt and Will would have often gotten bored in the countryside and had nothing else to do. But you're right, that scene specifically is straight.
Okay, actually, I take that back. There is one straight person, and that is Rufus Sewell, who I kept calling Rufus Sewell for way too long.
I mean, fair.
Just to double check, do we have any villain fuckers in the chat? Hands up.
Me, but
yeah.
not
Not
this one.
this villain. Not this villain. Some villains, yes. This guy was such a jackass and such a well done jackass, but like
Yeah.
he would be
no, I
talking
have
to
to
you
agree.
about his horse while he was sleeping with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Who the fuck
And
wants
not
to
in a
hear
cool
that?
way like Adeline Colin.
Jesus Christ.
I've been cutting down William Shakespeare's Henry V, and I forgot that there's an entire scene that is the Dauphin and his lieutenants talking about how much the Dauphin loves his horse.
Jesus.
Yeah. Ooh.
So I do have a question though about the filmmaking for this. Did they give Alan Tudyk a script, or did he just improv every single one of his lines? Because he has such a strong "my lines weren't in the script," and they just did whatever take they thought was funny energy, which is the role I usually play whenever I'm put into a scripted show and forget my lines.
I mean, not to jump on your Wicked thing, but you know that story of how like Bowen Yang said, yeah, I wanted to do everything by the script, and then John M. Chu would have me do one take where I ad-libbed. And every time the ad-lib ended up in the movie.
So the birdcage.
Yes.
Pretty
Un
much.
petit peu.
I
love
feel like
that.
if they gave Alan Tudyk a script, the script they gave him just read "fong."
Yes,
That was the
I
only
think
word.
they taught him the word "fong," and that was it.
Yeah.
Such a great. It means everything. It means fight. It means other things.
Yeah, but
It means Smurf.
yeah, basically.
Yep.
I will say, was it? It's called a lance. Hello is perhaps the most Alan Tudyk line delivery in this
Oh, yeah.
entire film,
Oh, God.
which is remarkable because he's in full Tudyk overdrive in all of his
Entirely.
scenes.
This was the movie when I first watched Firefly. I said, "Oh, that's the guy from The Knight's Tale," because this was the first thing I saw him in.
Well, the first thing I saw him in was Death at a Funeral. So when I first saw I saw Firefly shortly after that, and I was like, "Oh, hey, why is the naked guy flying the spaceship?"
What a career!
God,
a just a
seriously.
career.
God, yeah.
Like, I grew up watching Firefly with my dad because he was a big fan, and I was like a young kid around then. And
Mhm.
anytime that I see Alan in anything, I'm just like, it's Wash. Yes. And it's just, just seeing this after seeing Firefly, I was like, holy shit, what's Wash doing with a bunch of knights? So
Time travel, don't worry about it.
yeah.
So how does the It's Wash role work in animation? Because he's in every animated project now.
I mean, it's hard for me to like pick up on his voice sometimes. But then,
He does a
like,
good job
every
disguising
once in a
it.
while- Yes, he does. And every other time, it could be like, I'm just like not paying attention to it, which I shouldn't
Yeah.
be, but I should. And it's like, oh shit, I know who that is.
I mean, every so often he's in there as a fucking chicken.
Yep.
He went to Juilliard.
Also, in 2024, he was in 2 different animated shows where he played a skeleton that was on fire. It was just such a strange bit of typecasting for this man.
That is the most
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk typecasting.
Yeah.
A skeleton who's on fire.
There is something I want to push back against that may potentially then get me pushed back in turn, like a spaghetti-filled balsa lance. No, literally, those lances had like spaghetti packed around them so that when they smashed against each other, there would be enough debris explosion.
Beautiful. I love
But-
everything.
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
good.
I don't think that Paul Bettany had quite enough riz for what they wanted to do with Chaucer.
That's an insane.
That is a crazy thing to say. Who
Yeah,
even
this
are
is-
you?
Yeah, this is a man who in literally every scene of this movie, including when they're writing the love letter, which is the most subdued scene in the film, you can see little bits and pieces of scenery falling out of his skin.
Yeah.
And every single one of those pieces of scenery is swooning somehow.
Yeah, if that's not Riz, then it's at the very least Riz through superior firepower.
So, like, I'm specifically talking about the kind of riz that you need when you're doing the Herald bit.
Uh-huh.
Like, the stuff where he's doing his, silver tongue trickster. Oh, that's
Sure.
the first bit of yours that I believed, while he's lying naked in the ground and Heath Ledger has a knife pointed at him. That I buy. It's when he's like running along the tourney track and trying to rev up the crowd that I have a little bit of difficulty thinking, like, this is a person who commands the attention of a crowd.
Interesting. I have exactly zero
Very
of that problem
interesting.
for one Paul Bettany. I actually think he's perfectly at home doing that part. Was this the first Paul Bettany thing you saw though, or did you already have a Paul Bettany in your head before you saw Knight's Tale?
I believe by the time I saw Knight's Tale, I didn't have a physical Paul Bettany in my head, but I had a vocal Paul Bettany in my head. I had definitely heard him at least a couple of times in the MCU as Jarvis. And actually, I might have seen him, no, maybe I did watch A Knight's Tale in high school, so he wasn't the Vision yet. So, yeah, I don't think I'd seen Paul Bettany, like, all that physically in anything but The Knight's Tale. But, I mean, this could just be a me thing. Like, when I think of somebody whose presence is so electric that they can make a crowd immediately hush regardless, like, I don't know, I'm thinking Ariana DeBose, or I'm thinking like Leslie Odom Jr. or something, somebody who walks on stage and suddenly everyone falls silent because you do not want to miss a single thing this person is saying. And some of that is not Paul Bettany's fault. Like, I loved finding out the bit of trivia of, oh yeah, none of the extras in that one scene at the sword fighting bit knew what the hell Paul Bettany was saying, so Mark Addy had to go, yeah! To get them all to start
Which
cheering.
is a perfect moment in the movie too. So
it
great
is.
Job. I wonder, Sam, you don't watch professional wrestling at all, do you?
No. The closest I have ever gotten is the Dimension 20 Titan Takedown season.
Okay. So there are a lot of people with Paul Bettany energy who can, maybe not Broadway, Leslie Odom Jr. silence a crowd, but can absolutely silence a crowd the way you're talking about, through energy that's a lot closer to what Paul Bettany gives in this movie. John Moxley is the first one that comes to mind immediately, because I've been using one of his promos recently for character building stuff for League of Swords. But I think I get what you mean now, but I think I think Paul Bettany has exactly the right energy for what he needs to be doing.
Yeah, this is definitely sports or wrestling hype man kind of energy, which is wildly different from
especially
theater.
face energy.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a wrestling follower, but I am fascinated by the conceits of it, so I do pay attention to some of that.
I mean, it's it's live theater that nobody says it's live theater, which is one of the things I love about it.
I mean, unless you're Jess Ross pointing out that wrestling is drag.
It's also drag. Wrestling is a lot of things.
Yeah,
wrestling is
definitely.
Ska and pro wrestling are the only legitimate forms of art, according to one meme that I saw once.
You know what? That sounds perfect.
Do I agree with this? No, but is it a really fun thing to say? Absolutely, and therefore it is truth.
Ska is a great thing actually to bring up in terms of A Knight's Tale, because A Knight's Tale is very similar to ska in that, especially right now with the the way the world is going right now, especially how things are going right now in my particular life. The idea of, everything sucks, and it's not going to, like, it doesn't feel like everything's going to work out, but it will anyway, because we have decided it will, is very ska and very Knight's Tale.
That's so ska.
Yeah. The other moment that I teared up during the movie was, of course, the stocks scene, which I still am waffling on whether they should have cut Chaucer's speech in that scene, because it's a very good speech. But this time, for the first time, I was like, okay, I kind of get why they cut it. So the crowd will be chanting his name for the first time at the end of the tournament instead of at the stocks. But I went off topic and I've lost my train of thought. But just the whole thing of, like, you can suffer, but, like, push for things and fail over and over, and eventually someone will notice and, like, give you what, the praise you deserve because of it. For some reason, that really got to me this year. Can't imagine why.
No, I get it. No, the struggle with adversity, it's a universal thing. Oh, hey, we're going into, like, Joseph Campbell stuff. Of course, this is a Star Wars podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's also, like, something interesting to think about in the context of Jocelyn. Because I had a hard time with Jocelyn at certain points of the movie.
Same.
Mostly to do with, like, there's an awful lot of Will having to prove himself to her, and not a lot that she does to prove herself to him. Like, could we not have had Lady Jocelyn maybe show up at the stocks too? Put her body on the line? Something?
Yeah.
There's a lot of Jocelyn. That's, I mean, again, typical 80s sports movie, but she's more there to be a prize for him than she is to have any of her own character. Although she gets a lot more agency than most of those characters.
Yes, I will agree with that.
Go ahead, Sam. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I think I was just gonna agree the same way B is doing. But I'm also curious, B, you're a fan editor. You do this kind of stuff. Do you feel like there is a way, without adding stuff, is there a way to make that kind of an edit to like give Jocelyn a little more agency, or is this a thing where we'd have to go to deleted scenes?
More than likely, we'd have to go to deleted scenes to maybe flesh her out. Especially this movie started with like a 3-hour, maybe 3.5-hour assembly cut before it was cut down to the final cut time. So there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was cut out, especially to flesh out William more and to flesh out Jocelyn more, which is, I don't know why they would do that. Well, actually, I do know. They probably told them, hey, we don't want a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
We want as many seats as possible and people not to get bored. Try to cut this down as much as you can.
Yeah. And also the movie works because it moves quickly. I think a slower contemplative version of Knight's Tale would probably not be the best version of the movie, although I would still want to watch it just to see what it was like.
I feel like if the movie was done around like maybe now, we probably would have got like a 2.5-hour version of it. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already like 2 hours and 12 minutes at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a remarkably fast-paced movie for a 2.25-hour flick. I think it's only really slow toward the end. Like the bits with the father, I think, are the only bits that really throw off the pacing of the story.
Oh, but they're so sweet.
They're the best parts of the movie. Some of the best parts of the movie.
If it was, but if it were up to me, I would probably trim the dad scenes a bit and add more Jocelyn scenes earlier, around the same length. Admittedly, I also come at this from a perspective that I developed over the course of 2025, where I realize that I feel like every single movie is about, even the ones I really like is about 10 to 20 minutes shorter than it should be. I have absolutely had it up to here with people calling movies like plotting or like taking too long, and I'm like, no, every movie I have seen this year that I liked was too short.
Of content
was too short. Except Sinners. Sinners was actually the only film of 2025 that I thought was released in the length that it should have been.
I quite
Does that
enjoyed
mean you
Zootopia
haven't
2.
seen Hamnet, or?
Oh, God, let's not talk about Hamnet.
Yeah, no.
We
can't go down that.
Okay. All I know about Hamnet is it looks super depressing, so I've refused to see it.
It is.
It had me crying like a bitch. That's all I'll say.
Hamnet is 2 hours long. You will cry for one of them.
Or all of them.
Oh, well, see, I cry for my hobby, but that sounds tough.
That sounds like an experience that I don't want to have. And I understand the artistic value of such an experience, but I'll go watch Knight's Tale again.
Yeah, I cry on my own time, thank you.
Yeah.
A Knight's Tale is a good chaser to have for Hamnet, actually, because A Knight's Tale, honestly, like, I don't want to be that annoying substitute teacher who's like, hey, you know who was actually, like, the Michael Bay of his day? William Shakespeare. But,
but he was.
He was
Yes,
complimentary.
he was.
I mean, I don't know if maybe I would use Michael, like, could I say that Shakespeare was, like, the Rob Reiner of his day? R.I.P.?
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I mean, honestly, I think perhaps the most accurate in terms of critical reception and just general storytelling style is, well, depending on how upset you want to make people and which crowd, is either James Cameron or J.J. Abrams would probably be the more accurate.
I can see an argument.
We'll say J.J. Abrams.
Yeah. Depends on who you want to make more mad, but I think those two are probably the most.
Well, I think I think the big thing
influences.
is Shakespeare knew how to end stories, so he can't be Abrams.
Yes, but Shakespeare was far more prolific than Cameron has ever been.
Yes,
and I would also argue that Abrams has more of a penchant for recycling than Cameron does.
Yeah, and Shakespeare recycled everything he ever wrote, so Complimentary. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as originality, and everyone who says otherwise is trying to sell you something that's not very good.
That being said, even if it didn't exist as a concept back then, just because Shakespeare did it doesn't mean plagiarism is okay on your essays, kids.
No, stop using
No.
ChatGPT.
Yes, please stop.
The trick is, and this is what someone referred to as the George Lucas rule, which I think is very good, and is that that you have to steal from a lot of people so that it becomes research and it's not plagiarism.
That's good.
Again,
Yeah.
But if you
complimentary.
are-
But considering everything I write is a smorgasbord of like, what if Alan Moore, but without the weird sexual undertones and overtones.
So that's like
wholesale
90%
theft.
of the book.
Yeah,
of
it-
everything you ever wrote.
Just like be open about it, because like George Lucas has never made it a secret that he fucking loves all things Kurosawa.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
And you know, I think some people take the wrong message from that, but
Yeah.
it seems like Brian Helgeland was having fun with this, and that is what really matters. I haven't seen anything else. Oh, that is a lie. I've seen 42, which, well,
Oh,
fuck,
boy.
now I'm sad because I'm thinking of Chadwick Boseman.
yeah. Yeah, so he did like two of the only sports movies that I like.
That's true.
He also did Payback as well.
I actually think that brings me into realizing what it is I liked the most about this movie. I liked the sincerity.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a movie that would be called cringe if it came out today, and
Oh,
that
God.
that automatically means it's good.
it's God, I had a great word for it this morning when I was thinking about this podcast. It means the same thing as sincerity, but I think it starts with an E.
Earnest?
Earnest, yes, it's a very earnest
Yes.
movie. It's a very, very earnest movie. And yeah, a lot of times we frown on earnestness. We frown on earnestness when it's happy. Like Andor is a very earnest show, and everybody loves it because reasons I don't quite understand because I'm not those people.
Joss Whedon, when I catch you.
Only sadness is considered to have artistic value.
Yes, exactly. As I was looking on IMDb to see what else Brian Helgeland.
He did the recent Killer remake of John Woo's film. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that was the last thing that he did. He also wrote an episode of Friday the 13th, the series.
Okay.
Wrote and directed an episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Got an Oscar for LA Confidential.
Yes, he was a co-writer for that.
Earlier in this movie, when we were talking about brown stuff and, gross medieval eras, I was going to make fun of the King Arthur and Robin Hood reboots from the 2000s, where they were like, what if we take these fantastical stories and make them gritty and real? And it turns out he wrote that Robin Hood. So
What?
Ugh.
And then Green Zone before that. He's a co-writer on Vampire's Assistant.
The Russell Crowe?
Yeah.
Russell Crowe, Robin Hood, yeah.
Robin Hood.
Oh, God, that's a 2. Oh, God, I'm gonna have to...
Oh my
Run
God.
away!
So, like,
Ridley Scott, when I catch you!
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He is a co-writer for The Postman.
Oh, I'm so
Conspiracy
sorry.
Theory.
Oh, Conspiracy Theory
Bloodwork,
was fun. Though.
Mystic River.
Oh man,
Yeah,
Okay,
so, prolific
I-
guy.
I love a filmmaker who, there's some filmmakers who you look at their stuff and you're like, here is a genre or a thematic through line around their material. But I love the weird jobber filmmakers.
Yes.
Who are just doing like this guy. He's done sports. He's done some horror. He's done like a bunch of weird semi-historical crap. Just this guy's been in every genre, and I love that. I think like that the films themselves may not be like as good as from like people who are like very dedicated to like a particular theme or genre, but like the variety, the sheer what is he gonna do next?
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
love
Yeah.
that.
Hard agree.
So everybody on the podcast just got to watch me running around my room trying to find the special edition DVD of A Knight's Tale, which I own.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
And-
that DVD because it's got the speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found the DVD insert slip, Hey, bring back physical media so we can have cool shit like this. Anyway,
Or bring
here we
back
are.
physical media inside physical media. I miss video game manuals. I know we
Right.
don't need
God,
them, but they were so
yes.
cool.
All
God,
they put is
manuals.
fucking advertisements in there now.
I know.
Here's what I
Yeah.
wanted to see. We wanted to create a period piece that stayed fair to the period but felt contemporary. I wanted to make the Middle Ages feel as alive as they were to the people who inhabited them. These people weren't living in an archaic time. They were in the present. For a movie to work, the audience has to be invited in. They can get pushed away if overwhelmed by period costumes, obscured speech, and antique music. There must be relatable elements. Our goal was to create a seamless bridge between then and now. Though extensive historical research was undertaken, Helgeland encouraged his various department heads to follow his lead and take liberties that were sometimes 6 centuries wide. One example would be the clothing worn by the film's male band of misfits. Caroline Harris says Brian and I were inspired a great deal by the look of the Rolling Stones on their 1972 tour. Were there particularly bitching coats at that point?
I love the well-researched but anachronistic style of, quote,
Yeah.
historical, just media in general.
Yeah, that's my thing about know the rules before you break it.
Yeah, it's not the same thing at all, but it reminds me a lot of, I went to an exhibit on the production design of Barbie,
Ooh.
and it had a whole lot of like just that kind of really deep research into Barbie and like what that world might look like, which I thought was really cool.
That's great.
And you can like look at all the work that Ruth E. Carter did building the costumes for both Black Panther and for Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Oh yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Oh yeah.
Kind of more on the film itself, I think. Just content wise, I love that this movie, like it plays with and often invokes a lot of various like medieval cliches, some played straighter than others, but it completely averts the 2 most annoying medieval cliches in me. And one is that peasants are all morons. No, this is explicitly a movie about a bunch of peasants pulling one over on nobles, and that's fucking great. And the other is that, the church ruled over everything and everyone was sad, which is...
Why, God, did you curse me with this face?
You are desecrating a house of God!
Okay. Oh, the priest during the cute scene is like quietly he's a one-scene wonder.
Yes.
Like, I know I've seen that actor in something and I didn't bother
He's
to
Mace Tyrell in Game of Thrones.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. There's a lot
So
of
it's
Game
like-
of Thrones crossover in this movie.
Yeah. His line deliveries are just really good comedy.
Yeah.
Where he's technically being the straight man to what's going on in the context of the scene, but because of his reactions, he's the funny one. And I like fucking underappreciated. I wish he'd had another scene.
They did use the same church twice, so they could have used him twice.
I didn't notice that. But good
Actually,
catch.
they did use multiple cathedrals. They shot at a cathedral in Rouen, and they shot inside Notre Dame. They shot inside Notre Dame.
Say what?
They did? Then
Yeah.
why
That's
did
what
they
the
use
insert
green screen
says.
to show him outside of Notre Dame?
Well, because outside of Notre Dame is basically always full of tourists, and all of the buildings around Notre Dame are modern.
That makes sense.
Source: I was in Notre Dame last year.
Oh,
The restoration work is lovely.
I was there when I was 7, so you've
Did
been there
you
significantly more
know that
recently.
a huge boon to the restoration work was the video game Assassin's Creed?
Yes, and which is why as much as I dislike AC Unity for being the worst game in the series, I am grudgingly forced to accept it because it helped out with something very important to me, which is restoring a historical landmark.
I wonder if that's why they added in the Quasimodo joke.
It might be. One of the comments I was going to make that I absolutely loved about this movie, because they shot this in a lot of different places in Europe, but a lot of like Eastern European areas, and you could
Mostly
absolutely
Prague.
Mostly Prague. And you could absolutely tell when they brought in. When they flew people in from England to play their parts, like that priest and the guy and like Will's dad and stuff, and when like the French gentlemen who absolutely were not in any way French, they just grabbed local actors to play the part.
Also, the Pope might be French, but Jesus is English. Is
so dumb and
that is my
incredible.
second favorite joke in the whole movie.
What's your favorite?
My favorite joke is during Chaucer's introductory scene, and he says, "It was allegorical." Well, we won't hold that against you.
That's for every man to decide for himself.
Let's go around. Favorite joke. B,
Oh,
you next.
Man.
Oh, what is my favorite joke? There's just so many. I can't even pick one. Yeah, no, I can't pick a joke. There's so many good ones that it's like trying to like pick your favorite kid, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's really easy for me to pick my favorite kid.
Yeah, except your kids aren't as consistently funny as this movie.
Yeah.
I think my favorite joke is when Will and Roland, who are going back and forth, but it might have been Will and Chaucer, they keep going, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes. And they would have been going forever, except the handmaiden showed up.
Yep. They are a wonderful group of children.
Yes.
Could have done without the post-credit fart scene. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
we
I
ended
could
on
not have
a
done without that.
lovely, silly, cheesy transition into a bad green screen kiss in front of a moon, and then we had a post-credit fart scene.
Oh my god. So I forgot that they had a post-credit scene, so I
too.
stopped during the credits and didn't know. I've never seen this post-credit fart scene. And you know what? I'm okay with experiencing this film. without
Yeah,
it.
you are not
they're
missing
very
anything.
obviously a scene that they shot at some point as like an insert, you know, like while they're like traveling around. This is a insert of the four of them getting along once the blacksmith has joined the group. I think it's funny, but you know, I am a child sometimes. I think the quote that the joke that I quote the most, the one that's become the most like vocal stim for me is, I don't know if it's my favorite joke in the movie, but it's, your entrails will become your outrails.
So good. I realized something very interesting watching it this time, that and I think it was because I was watching it for this podcast, is that in the climax of the movie, William basically gets a cybernetic arm. So this is a Star Wars movie, guys.
Perfect.
We're even going up against, well, no, France didn't really have an empire at this point, but like, we're going up against an evil dude in black who's menacing Our Lady Fair.
Yeah.
Close
This
enough.
This is a Star War. Take it to the bank,
Yeah.
boys.
We've done it. Everybody go home.
Yeah. Officially, now this is like a, what, first degree? Oh, no, I don't know.
Nope. Not
Zero.
unless they suddenly make a K2SO series, and that would only bump it up to degree 2.
Oh, well, no, this is a 0 degree, because I'm saying this is literally a Star Wars movie now.
Nope. It doesn't work like that. That's
It was-
not how the Force works.
It was allegorical, Sam.
Well, we won't
For
hold that
every
against
man
you.
to decide for himself.
Oh, I see that there is an extended cut of this movie, actually.
I think it's on the
Oh,
DVD that
interesting.
Sam has.
Oh,
Maybe.
do tell.
Yeah, I haven't seen it,
Wait,
but apparently.
hang on. How long is the version that you guys watched?
The Disney Plus version is
2 hours, 12 minutes?
12 minutes? Yeah, I think that's what you said.
132 minutes, yeah. The extended cut is
Okay.
144 minutes.
Mine was
So 2 hours and 24 minutes.
Mine was 2 hours and 12 minutes. So
Yes,
Huh.
that's
I
the
guess
theatrical cut.
Oh, I guess we got the
Interesting.
extended cut then.
Huh. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is a PSA to everybody out there. If you do not have Disney Plus for any reason, I have more often than not found A Knight's Tale at the thrift store or like a Goodwill or a Savers or something. Invest in physical media. You will fucking need it.
Okay, so Sony restored both the theatrical and extended cuts for the limited 4K steelbook that came out early last year.
I think those are some of your favorite words in the English language.
Hell yeah. Words.
Yeah.
For the 4K Steelbook?
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that. Huh.
You have to go find that 4K Steelbook.
Yeah, definitely.
You would not believe how many of our messages are, babe, you cannot buy more 4K steelbooks. Babe.
I like movies.
That sounds like weakness and
That sounds like Twitter
cowardice.
talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's actually illegal. I think Sam is being, no, I was going to say Sam is being abusive, but that's not a good joke to make.
No, but
No, what's abusive is telling a man to lose in a potentially fatal sports game.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a weird scene. I get it. You got to do the whole like it for both the sports boy movie and the courtly love thing. You have to do that kind of, if not taking a dive, then some kind of sacrifice to show your love thing. So I get it. Within both of this movie's genres, that's kind of a thing. But also, it's a weird scene.
It's
Yeah.
I would say it's probably like, we usually when we say movies that are of their time, we're talking about like, movies from like the 60s, but we really have only progressed so far. And so like even a movie in the 2000s is still kind of like, okay, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
No.
The only thing that could have made it more 2000s tropey would have been after he said, "I do not lose, she will go, then you have lost me."
Oh man, that would have been crazy. I'm glad they didn't.
This movie is like this is on my list of perfect movies alongside like Princess Bride and Pirates of the Caribbean 1, and a lot of I have a particular taste, I admit it.
Swords. Your taste is swords.
Swords and funny.
Swords and funny, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. But there are a couple of lines that I cringed at. There's the bit where Jocelyn is like, "I would not have him win the tournament for me. I would have him win my heart." And I'm like, okay. we couldn't have workshopped that one a few more times.
Like that is definitely
Code 2001, we've got an underwritten female love interest that they're trying to also make a girl boss. I repeat, Code 2001.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
That's all right. We've all forgot what we were going to say at some point or other.
Who are we again?
Yeah.
Where are we? What's happening?
When are we?
I don't know! We're somewhere between 1200 and 1400 Common Era!
Well, yeah. Well, we're not at the point where someone would pull a Homestar Runner and say, "I'm sorry, you do not dress like a peasant, you do not smell like a peasant, and you are certainly not on fire like a peasant." And I think that does bring the movie down a little bit.
You have been measured, you have been weighed, and you have been found on fire.
Yes.
That is a fucking biblical reference.
No, that is not
It
a
is?
biblical reference. That is the measure and weighed. Yes,
Yeah.
My thing was from the Peasant's Quest game from HomestarRunner.net. It's .com.
It's an incredible game that everyone
Yeah,
should
it was
play.
so good.
We are also apparently in an era when one can have a trademark. And I want to know how much money fucking Nike paid for that product placement.
Oh my god, that's
Yes.
so funny.
That was the other thing that I audibly groaned at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hopefully they got their bag for that. They deserve it.
That is something someone would have done back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like I remember the bit where one of the how in Gladiator they had scenes of the gladiators endorsing products, which was a real thing that happened. But Ridley Scott, he of the ignoring historians at every moment of his life, cut that for being unrealistic.
It's the Tiffany
Like he
problem.
specifically thought it was unrealistic, which is why he cut that bit. And I'm just like, you added way weirder stuff to every single one of your vaguely historical movies, and you didn't keep that because that was funny.
Well, you can't
Ridley
have
Scott,
funny and
meet me at 3 a.m. in a Denny's parking lot.
Oh my god, guys, they did it. There's a musical.
There's a musical
Yes,
tonight.
there
There's a musical. That's right. I forgot about that.
There is a musical. It was
sure
running
is.
in 2025 in Manchester, and it's a jukebox musical. So in addition to like the ones, you would expect, We Will Rock You, Golden Years and stuff, they included Tub Thumping, Heaven is a Place on Earth, and Kiss from a Rose.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It has not yet made it to the West End, but I need it. I need it
wanna see it.
viscerally, and I have also now learned that apparently Brian Helgeland pitched a sequel to Netflix in April 2024, and
And
Netflix
they
said no. And
passed
I'm
on
like,
it.
Netflix, what the fuck are you doing?
What, in fact, are you smoking?
You have money to buy Warner Brothers, but not this? Netflix!
See, the thing
Netflix.
is, all of these perfect movies, we don't need to make sequels to them. We need to make musicals out of them. Princess
Yes.
Bride, the musical. A Knight's Tale, the
Oh
musical.
my god, the track list for this musical is insane.
Is it? I gotta look it up.
We Will Rock You, Let Me Entertain You, Tub Thumping, I'm Gonna Be 500 Miles. I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me, Take on Me.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Living La Vida Loca.
Oh my god, they got Vita Loca. All right.
Yeah,
Holding
Sweet
out
Dreams
for a
of Maiden.
hero.
There are so many.
Oh my god, this is
Holding out for a
lot of
hero
this is
isn't
Shrek, too.
everything, and it should be because it's the
And
greatest.
the final track of the musical is Mr. Brightside. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes! Oh, I need to see
God.
this so bad.
I can't write music. But I wish I had the money to get the rights to do a jukebox
Holy shit,
musical.
they had Welcome to the
It's-
Jungle.
As somebody who has been not so secretly working on a jukebox musical version of the King Arthur story for many years now.
Yes.
Although it's not a jukebox musical, it's a playlist musical because it's literally just the songs that came up on like playlist listens that my wife and I were like, oh, this works for this character now. So like the theme is barely there.
Coming to you soon on In Each Retelling.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
If anyone listening to this podcast has a ton of money they want to throw at an unproven jukebox musical project, get at me because I have a really weird Count of Monte Cristo set at a nightclub thing that I really want to do.
I absolutely 100% want to see that, and I support everything you just
Yeah,
said.
me
But
too.
also, if someone's listening to this podcast who has a lot of money and wants somewhere to spend it, may I introduce you to the League of Swords? Please, for the love of God, I need the money.
And if anybody has a slime tutorial of the Knight's Tale musical,
yes.
Please tell me about it. And I guess since we're talking about it, we'll come back to Pluggables in a second, but
Oh, yeah.
is the Force with it?
Anyone who says no
100%.
is not my friend.
Yeah, seriously. It's
We
worth it.
will, if you say
Definitely.
no, we will fong you.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to, but now I kind of want to just so I can figure out what the fuck Fong means.
It means whatever Alan Tudyk wants it to mean.
Yeah, and he is God.
Well, if this is how I
so-
meet Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
I met him once. I signed up for one of those take a picture with the celebrity things at a con with him and Nathan Fillion, and I had just enough time to say, "Hey, Con Man is pretty good," and he stopped and said, "Thank you," and then that was the whole conversation.
I want to meet Alan Tudyk long enough for him to decide he wants nothing to do with me.
All right, so that makes it unanimous. We have all decided the Force is with it, which I think also means we are Sith, so unfortunately we have to sit at the bad kids table with Count Adamar.
Aw, beans.
Look, I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. Obi-Wan Kenobi told me so.
But that's a no.
Yes, you're aware of the whole thing.
I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one thing though we have to say. Since it got a unanimous thumbs up, Sam. Do you know what that is? He's blonde. He's pissed. We'll see him in the list. Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
Sorry, he'll see you in the list. I got it wrong, but that's all right.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
It is.
Is that just a chant that happens in England? Because that's the same cadence as they use in Ted Lasso for he's here, he's there, he's every fucking where, Roy Kent!
It might
I'm pretty
be.
sure
Kent!
I'm pretty sure all of the chants were just traditional English football chants.
Yeah,
Because I heard a couple very familiar ones in this movie.
The
Cool.
English are excellent at coming up with chants. Whenever a major wrestling show goes to England, we walk away with a ton of chants that will be used for the next 10 years. For example, there's a wrestler named Bailey, and instead of just chanting Bailey, the UK crowd went, "Hey, we want some Bailey," and that stuck forever because of course it did.
She spent the entirety of Dimension 20 Titan Takedown in a kangaroo onesie, and so I love her. Who has Pluggables?
By the time you listen to this episode, the League of Swords Kickstarter will be done, which means either a miracle will have occurred, or, as is seemingly increasingly likely, we will be retooling and trying again at a later date. But if you like professional wrestling or that kind of theatrical storytelling, if you like Shakespearean style storytelling, if you like sword fights like the ones you got to see in this movie or some of the others I mentioned, you will get a kick out of the League of Swords, and you can find out more about it at leagueofswords.com. And also, you can catch me on Twitch every Tuesday through Friday, usually at 11 a.m. PT. Wednesdays, it's at 9 p.m. Twitch.tv/VengeanceGod. Come and join me and hang out. I think you'll have a great
Got two projects to plug. One is that I am one of the hosts of our monthly now podcast, the Not Even podcast, which can be found on YouTube at Not Even Comedy, all one word, and also on Instagram at noteven.comedy. It's very silly. We just dropped an episode a few days before this recording. It's just me and some friends shooting the shit about things. And then my big project is coming. Our pilot episode will, I think, be dropping sometime, hopefully this month. Our editor and producer is buying a house, so some delays on that end. But it is called Malaika, Malaika, which is a podcast about a young woman who is against her will forced to be a paranormal investigator and may well be responsible for the upcoming end of the world.
Hell yeah.
It's essentially Tintin meets Hellboy with an extremely funny Boston area stand-up comic, Tookie Kavanaugh, in the lead role. Yeah, so that's hopefully coming soon.
I don't really have anything to really plug except for maybe my favorite book series of all time, which is Sun Eater. The science fantasy book series that is just it's hella awesome. Just go out, read it. 7 books. 7th and final book came out back in November, so you're not going to get burned like a certain big giant series that became this big series that everybody loves. Talking about you, Game of Thrones.
I was like, there's one of 3 you could be talking about.
But
Yeah.
check it out. It's awesome. It has space Byzantines and it's epic as fuck.
And in the spirit of Star Wars, to be there for the people who need us, this episode is featuring 2 mutual aid spotlights. The first goes to the Rebuilds.us Fund for Winter Storm Fern. Over 230 million people across 34 states are expected to be impacted by the heavy snowfall, freezing temperatures, and harsh winds of this storm, and Rebuild.us is working to make sure that people living in states that lack the infrastructure for this kind of extreme weather have the generators, warm clothing, non-perishable food, and other items they need. The second spotlight is for the people of Minneapolis as they continue their resistance against the occupation of their city by ICE, known as Operation Metro Surge. On the day this episode is airing, January 24th, 2026, ICE agents fatally shot another civilian, Alex Preddy. This is the 3rd shooting in 3 weeks, following the killings of Renee Nicole Good on January 7th and Julio Cesar Sosa Celis on January 14th, and only scratches the surface of the inexcusable cruelty that has been inflicted on the families who call the city home. Highlighting a single fund feels entirely too limited. So, direct from the Minneapolis St. Paul magazine, I'm providing a link to a full list of the amazing ways that the people of the city have stepped up for their neighbors. This list includes immigrant rights groups like Monarca and Unidos MN, a list of rent support resources organized by Ashley Fairbanks, the founder of Stand With Minnesota, and local retailers, churches, and other community institutions that are working to keep people safe in a time of terror. The links can be found in the description, as well as on my various socials at DemiSem. Our theme music is provided by Refractory Period, the 2 girls, 1 beat synth-pop sensation. You can follow them on Instagram at Refractory Period, the band. To further support this podcast, please subscribe to us on your platform of choice, leave reviews, and share with your friends to boost our visibility, and consider joining our Patreon. And now, it's time to turn to the Chance Cube to decide where our journey takes us next.
That is a 6.
Yes, it is.
With the line underneath.
That is a 6. So, for February, for our first more romantic movie, we are doing, brought to you by Zoran Mamdani's mother, Mira Nair, Mississippi Masala.
Ooh, nice.
We'll see you all next time. Until then, stay safe, stay strong, stay beautiful, and may the Force be with you.